Okay, so now we're going to do part 2 of this lesson, which involves, as we learned in 3.1, classifying. We know that systems can have infinitely many or no solutions. So when we try to solve these algebraically, the result's either going to be an identity where 5 equals 5, 7 equals 7, something of that nature, or a contradiction, 0 equals 5. So we're going to classify a system and determine the number of solutions. So let's highlight over here. If we get an identity, okay, it indicates infinitely many solutions. A contradiction indicates no solution. So looking at the first one, I can very easily do this by substitution. I can make the first equation, set it equal to y, then take that and put it in the second equation for y. Distribute. And these will go out. You get 24 equals negative 15, which is false or a contradiction, which means there's no solution. And recalling from the previous, that means it's inconsistent. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and try to check it out. going to finish up the lesson with applications. The first thing you need to do is come up with the equations from the problem and then solve the system. So the first thing it says, zookeeper needs to mix feed for the prairie dogs so the feed has the right amount of protein. Feed A has 12% protein. Feed B has 5% protein. How many pounds of each does he need to get 100 pounds of feed that is 8% protein? So the amount of feed is 100 pounds. We can very easily say that A plus B must equal 100. When it comes to the protein, change your percent to decimal. So 0.12 times A 0.05 B, and the 100 pounds needs to be the easiest thing probably is to solve this first one for one of the variables. So I'm going to solve for B. And that would be your answer. So you have to check it out. Go ahead and see if you can come up with this system. And then solve it. So pause the video, then come back and check your answer. Okay, hopefully you came up with those two answers. We're just going to close the... It says, explain which method you will use to solve the system. Well, hopefully you took notice that we have y's with opposite coefficients. So I would choose elimination. And that's because the y terms have opposite coefficients. And this ends day 2.